Hi everyone. Hi everyone. I'm David Marshall, a retired engineer from Australia and currently a resident of Koh Samui, a tropical island in the Gulf of Siam or Gulf of Thailand, and have for 8 years. For 3 years, I've been the Charter Secretary for the Rotary Club of Samui-Phangan, and Phangan is a small adjacent Koh Samui, which is approximately 53 kilometers in circumference. Our Rotary Club undertakes humanitarian projects for the poor of Koh Samui and Koh Phangan. And at the moment, we're in the middle of a humanitarian crisis on Koh Samui, which we'll lead you through with our PowerPoint presentation. I'd like to introduce my compatriot in Palo, Alto.
Hi, everyone. My name is Cash. I work for the city of Palo Alto, but I'm also a member of the Palo Alto Rotary Club, have been a member for quite some time and have served on the board as treasurer, fundraising chair, and now involved with the international committee. I had the opportunity to meet David while visiting Thailand and came to understand that they have a great need for a water project. And that's how we both connected, and we're working. The Palo Alto Club is working with the Samui-Phangan Club on Water4Life project. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we'll begin our PowerPoint. So what we're going to discuss today is the partnership, the Water4Life project, as well as discuss with you an urgent need for water systems in relation to the COVID-19 pandemic. We're specifically asking for a call for action that is donations made to the Palo Alto Rotary Club. They are tax deductible, and we'll provide you with a tax deductible letter for that. And then also, if you do want to directly connect with Samui-Phangan for direct service work.
Our humanitarian crisis has stemmed from the fact that this small island, this tropical island, has over 600 international hotels and resorts and approximately 3,000 restaurants, all working in conjunction. And therefore, 100% of all business on our island is tourism related. With the complete closure of the island and therefore all business, many of the poor people who work in the service industry and for very little money, or adjacent or allied construction industries, have left the island already. But we are currently struggling with approximately 11,000 poor Thais and Burmese still here. There is no work, there is no money, there is no food, and there is no clean drinking water. Our water table on the island is corrupted with virus and rubbish, and therefore all water for the island has to be purchased. We need funding for both the emergency water filtration systems and to complete our already running Water4Life program, which is bringing safe drinking water to each of the public schools on Koh Samui. So please spread the word.
Just a little bit about Rotary International. It's a global network of 1.2 million people, and there are clubs in practically every city around the world. There's 35,000 clubs, and the mission is to promote peace, fight disease, provide clean water, sanitation, hygiene, save mothers and children, support education, and grow local economies. A little bit about the Palo Alto Club. We meet weekly in Palo Alto, California. We have about 125 members. We work on local service projects. We make donations to nonprofits and vocational students. And we have a international committee that works on international projects. And that segues into the Samui-Phangan Club.
We meet weekly, fellowship and projects over dinner usually. There are 25 members. We're a relatively new club, only 3 years old. Our charter president for 3 years is a local Thai person, Thai lady. 50% foreigners in the club and 50% Thais. which allows us to engage with the community properly. Local service projects only. We only support people, the poor people of Samui-Phangan. People are very surprised at how large a portion there is of that, but it's a very large service work industry. You can visit our website to see all of our community projects, which includes Swim for Life, teaching poor Thai children how to swim, and support for the handicapped people on Samui-Phangan.
The roots of the club partnership, folks may be wondering how Palo Alto connected with Samui. Generally, the way Rotary projects work is from people-to-people contact. Rotarians travel around the world. They visit each other. They visit clubs. They meet fellow Rotarians. They get to learn about the different clubs. And then sometimes there is a nexus for water or for different types of projects. In our case, I've traveled to Thailand several times, and service is very important for me, and found that the water project that's happening on Samui connects really well with the Palo Alto Club and our mission to support education and water systems. And ultimately, that's what we're focused here on, is that to bring clean water to the schools of Samui so that the children can attend school without disease, without diarrhea, and be able to learn more, and then that has an effect on the overall economy. So there is a shared interest, and Rotary International's, one of its core missions is water and education. And so there is a seamless connection here between the values of the clubs as well as Rotary. Did you want me to talk about this one, David?
Yes, Cash, off you go.
Yeah. So before the pandemic, as I just mentioned, our project was mainly focused on bringing water systems to 23 different schools, affecting about 8,000 children. The island of Samui did not provide any, the government did not provide any funding for the schools, and the Rotary Club in Thailand they did one pilot project where they raised enough funds to do a brand new water filtration system at one school. And I had the privilege of seeing that project. And so we saw that it's very easy, if the Samui Club has the funding, to be able to implement a clean water system. And so what we're looking for here is about $250,000 more to be able to put water at all of the schools. It's a fully circular program in the sense that there are a hotel is attached to each school. The engineers from the hotels will be able to maintain the water system. That's very important for ongoing maintenance. And that the water system itself will be able to sell water to the local village to raise money to maintain the water system. And so it's pretty much a audited, checked project. We have David and himself, who is an engineer and will oversee all the installations. And so it's a really, really good project. And certainly we can provide you more information. We can provide you all the documents, product specifications, budgets, all the details that you would want to know about the project before making a donation. Anything you want to add here, David?
No, I'll do on the next slide, Cash. Okay, so David Marshall here again. Due to contamination of our water table with both virus and rubbish seeping into the water table, we have many problems on the island with lack of infrastructure. Government support is provided through basically a roll call of the number of Thai people who have re-registered Koh Samui as their home. Unfortunately, most do not. They remain registered at their place of birth for various tax reasons and tax breaks and things, particularly the farmers and so forth. They all flock to our island to low-paying jobs because it's better than they have in the country and in the bush. So all clean drinking water has to be purchased from a government licensed source. And the only source that's recommended for clean water in Thailand and government approved is reverse osmosis. Unfortunately, we have about 11,000 poor Thais and Burmese who are still left here stranded with no money to leave. Borders are all closed. There's no work, money, food or clean drinking water, which is making worse the effects of exposure to COVID. We have had very, very few cases on the island, only 7 and no deaths. Weekly food parcels and drinking water are being delivered by the expat communities. This is a massive logistic exercise and undertaken by at least 6 groups of expatriates all working together and slowly but surely supported by the local government and councils and police, etc. But the money is coming from international fundraising, etc. And time and labor is voluntary. So it's a massive effort with little support. Our immediate problem is water. We're struggling to keep clean water up to these 11,000 people. And there is an easy way out. We have the ability with fundraising to provide emergency relief water filtration units rather than finishing the school project, which is high on our list to do. And if it had been already completed, then people would simply go to the local school to get clean water during this problem. At the moment, though, we have villages scattered all over the island and throughout the hills and mountains, and we need to provide each of them with some form of clean drinking water. Our island is 100% reliant on tourism, hotels, and ancillary hospitality businesses, and the collapse of this industry leaves our future completely unknown. We envisage at least many more months, if not years, before full island operation resumes. Here is presented to you some of the documentation that's already been arranged through both of our clubs. You can see all of our support at the bottom for our current project, and we're underway towards commencing construction at 11 of the 23 schools still to be done. At the moment, schools are closed. They'll reopen in another month. And at that stage, we hope to be working hard to bring these systems to these schools, which will also affect not only the 8,000 students, but all of the families that are associated with those students. And each of these schools is supported by the local temple and a whole group of people, including the nearby resorts and so forth, all forming a committee which is engaged to provide the much needed maintenance and support for the kids and the families that is not government provided. So from my perspective, David Marshall on the island of Koh Samui, thank you for your attention, and hope that somebody out there can see our plight and may be able to help us in some way. Over to you, Kash.
Yeah, I would just like to reiterate, in essence, there's the main project, which was to provide water and is to provide water to all the 23 schools to affect not only the 8,000 students, but the village that the school is in the terms of providing a water system where folks can purchase water from the filtration system as opposed to bottled water. With the COVID-19, we have a different problem now with the immigrant population and the poor Thais, the immigrant population of the Burmese and the local Thais who work in the development industry. And so, you know, from our standpoint, we want to get emergency water filtration systems directly into those villages in the short term, and then also build the long-term larger water filtration systems for the schools. So hopefully that gives you a sense of the pre-COVID and the during COVID. The other thing that's unique about this project is that it's from a Rotary Club to a Rotary Club. Usually when a Rotary Club works, a USU Rotary Club works with a Rotary Club or on a project international, typically the US Club works with a nonprofit organization in that country, and then we find a Rotary Club in that country to host the project. In this case, we're very fortunate that the Samui-Phangan Club has itself leading the implementation of the water systems. That's very unique and adds a different level of credibility. So this is a great project. We really hope that you are interested in it and you reach out to David and I. Our contact information is here. David and I talk to each other almost every day. And so reaching out to David or myself will get you connected to both of us. And we certainly hope to hear from you.